Hey, welcome to Wives Wednesday. Today, we're going to deal with Wives Wednesday. Of course, it's about dealing with the woman in the mirror so we can be the best us, so that we can be the change that we want to see in our relationship. So it's not about male bashing. It's about improving our techniques as women. So when we get off this conversation, I will have given you a few things that make you say, so you can go back and adjust or whatever it is that you need to do, or just rethink some of the things that you do in your relationship so you can have your best relationship. All right, today's topic is the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. How many of us do we believe that? Well, that's one component of feeding your man. So today we're going to talk about feeding your man from a perspective of his stomach, his spirit, and of course through sex. So those are the three S's we're going to make sure we're feeding. So how you feed your man is important because you do want to have your man's heart. Because out of the abundance of his heart, if you're in his heart, that creates him to create action for you. It creates him to speak on your behalf, because out of the abundance of a man's heart comes his thoughts, then comes his actions. So we want to make sure that we're putting the right things and planting the correct seeds in the hearts of our spouses. So starting off with the stomach, it is, what are you feeding from your man from your table? We all need to be in control of what we feed our man from our table. No matter if we're cooking it personally ourselves or if we're bringing it in from someplace. But don't make it a habit that your man stops at a restaurant to eat or at someone else's house to eat. Even if it's bringing food, fix it, set it, and set the table of the atmosphere that you want him to receive. And that's the key. Set the atmosphere that you want him to receive in a relaxed, stress-free place so that he can eat and enjoy the meal. It's not about just whatever's on the table, but it's about the atmosphere of what is on the table at the time that a man eats makes a difference. Because if he's stressed, he can't enjoy his food. If he has to eat fast, he can't enjoy his food. And that applies to all of us. But we're, as women today, setting the atmosphere and saying that his heart is his health and his wealth. What are you feeding your man from your table? So we might need to readjust some of the meals that we fix to make sure they are truly healthy, because that makes a determination of how much energy he has, how much stamina he has, how long he will live. So all those things that we want to change so we can create the health and wealth component within our mate we have control over. And plus it will help improve our lives, because you're not going to fix a meal from him and then fix a meal for yourself. So out of that, first thing I want you to do is get control of what comes from your table. And me personally, this is kind of how this goes. Me and my husband, he is currently still a sugarholic. I am a recovered sugarholic. And what that means is we both have a taste or a palate that we love things sweet. But however, I know it affects my body differently than it does his. So I control how much sugar comes into the house by being the person who does the grocery shopping, and how much gets prepared and what type of sugar it is. So in that same way, if you have a healthy plan and you all are eating salads, eating fruit, cutting back on your red meat, don't, just because your man craves Southern food does not mean it has to be fixed every night. Make it a special Sunday meal, make it a special Saturday meal, but create meals that create a healthy body to create a wealthy lifestyle. Now, beyond that, of course, diversify the meals. Don't make the same meals all the time, because they will become bored. And not just talking about food. Do not let your man become bored with what you are saying. The words out of your mouth to feed his spirit. The words out of your mouth when you're talking about sex. Mix it up so it doesn't become boring. Mix it up. Change it up. Diversify whatever you're fixing. Okay, for any woman who's happened to be listening to this and you say, oh, I don't like cooking, I don't like coming up with menus, that is just too much. Me personally, I'm a Sunday cook. I prepare all my meals for the week on Sunday. And you say, whoa, that sounds like a lot of work. But actually, it eases up the rest of the week to do what is needed to be done. Because on Sunday, what I do is prepare all of my meats. And I have in my mind 7 meals that are going to get me through to the next Sunday. So I could possibly fix me a meatloaf, Or I could fix me a roasted chicken. And those two meats can turn into a whole lot of various meals. So, first lady, find 7 foundational meals that you would like to cook. Mix them up. And what that means, okay, for instance, I brought up the idea about a roasted chicken. So a roasted chicken can turn into many meals. You take a roasted chicken, you eat it as a roasted chicken for the first day. Then you turn it into chicken and noodles, or you can turn it into chicken over rice, or you can turn it into a chicken pot pie. You have to learn how to think outside of the box. That will save you financially, and it will save you time. And those are the things that you're trying to do so that you have more time to spend with your mate, so you're not stressing about what it is we're going to eat to feed our bodies today, because you need to spend more time focusing on taking time for your spirit and taking time for you all to connect together on different levels besides just what we're going to eat. So over the meal, the conversation can be different that you have with your mate. So kind of like you have these 7 foundational pieces of clothing. You got your favorite black dress, you got your favorite brown suit, and you dress it up. You add things. You add a shirt, you add a shell, you add shoes, you add a scarf, you add jewelry, and it becomes a totally different outfit. So just like that, women, you change a meal and mix it up. So while you're feeding your man through his stomach, make sure, first of all, as we said, it's something that's healthy. Make sure it's something that you diversify, and make sure you're giving it to him in an atmosphere that you want to create in your relationship. Okay, jumping to spiritual nourishment. And what I like to think about it is, when I think about the scripture, man cannot eat bread alone. So he's eating his bread, you fed his stomach. So now his palate grows and matures. So you got to worry about his spiritual being as well. And yes, he's the head of the household. Yes, he is. He's supposed to be the one who leads. But that does not take away from the duty that we're supposed to provide. So what comes in his spirit is very crucial too. People have talked about being food poisoning and it's making them sick and they've been stuck in the hospital. Now, when you are spiritually poisoned, it is the same process. You're sick and you need some help. So make sure you're not spiritually poisoning your relationship. And what does that mean? I know we're all grown-ups and we're adults and we watch and we listen to different things, but be careful what gets into the gates of our eyes and our ears, because those things can get planted as seeds in our heart and they actually grow. What does that mean? Okay. All right, ladies. So we got all this wonderful rap music that's out there. And of course, we adults and we can listen to it. And we might not have kids, so we feel like we can listen to anything it is that we want to listen to. However, don't get comfortable with that, because if those are the words that comes out of your mate's mouth as how they describe you, because that's the songs and the music that they listen to repeatedly is the key, because you want to counteract all of those things with something positive. And what that means is, even the movies that you all choose to watch, even the things that go on. So counteract and balance that stuff in your household with spiritually uplifting and encouraging things about that goes on. Even the words that come out of your mouth need to be uplifting to your man's soul and spirit. Speak into his life to what it is that you see him or want him to become. He does not have to be there already, because none of us are perfect. We are all striving to reach that place. All right. So the taboo thing that we don't like to talk about publicly, what they say you don't supposed to talk about: sex, religion, and politics. All right, so we're going to dig just briefly and scan over sex, because we think of our bedroom as our sanctuary. So first, there are really only 2 S's that should go on in the bedroom. That's sex and sleep. But however, what we do is put these televisions in our bedrooms, and they become distractions to our sleep and our sex. So now, in your sanctuary, make a determination: how and what are you trying to feed in the sanctuary? Is it just the sex, the flesh that you're trying to feed in the bedroom, and it's your sleep? Then you need to set up an atmosphere where those are the things that occur in your house. Ladies, we have to take control over what is served at the tables in our houses. You have plenty of the rooms to feel the need to serve other aspects. If you need the TV, if you need the radio, whatever the other stimulus that you need in the other rooms. But in your bedroom, it is supposed to be for sleep and sex. Those are the two S's. So in the mood where we talk about sex, just as we talked about as your food, you need to diversify it. You need to set up an atmosphere where it is not a rush experience. You need to set up an atmosphere where they feel like they are being nurtured and they're being fed something healthy and wealthy to keep their spirit uplifted. One of the things that go wrong in a relationship, we like to withhold sex from our man when he's not doing 100% of the things that we want him to do. That is the most thing that is wrong in a relationship. You should never withhold sex unless it is a mutual fast between the both of you all. Imagine if you told your man, I'm not going to cook for you no more. Do you know how many restaurants, how many places, how many houses he can go to eat before he comes home? Same concept if you withhold the word. Do you know how many churches, do you know how many places that can feed his spirit? The same thing applies in the world of sex. Do you know how many places he can go that will give him that same thing? So do not open a door by withholding something unless there is something physically wrong and you all have had a discussion about this withholding. So I'll go back, ladies, and think about the things. Don't withhold. Don't feed things from your table that you don't want him to eat. Make sure that you are the person that's feeding your man's heart so that you are deeply rooted in the seat of his heart. Thank you all for joining and listening to me on this Wives Wednesday. This is Courtney again, the Master Relationship Mechanic. You can always visit us at the Relationship Service Station or marriagemaintenance.info. Thank you, ladies. Wives.